Name is Chapel Hart.
Okay, and what does that mean?
We grew up in a small community called Hart's Chapel. It's named after our family because there's way too many of us.
Well, since the last song, I've had time to think it over.
Oh my God! I mean, that was fantastic. Amazing. I love you.
They took America by storm. In a matter of minutes, Chapel Hart took the AGT stage, broke all stereotypes, and snatched the golden buzzer from the judges. A historic moment.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Social media exploded, and the press called them country's new breath. Then, they disappeared. No follow-up hits, no big wins. No one to mention what happened after the bright lights. This was no easy fall. This is the shocking truth behind the TV spotlight, where Chapel Hart must choose between compromise to survive or silence to stay true to herself. Poplarville, Mississippi is a small town that doesn't seem to be on the music map. But that's where Chapel Hart got its start. The trio of women, Danica Hart, Devin Hart, and Treya Swindle, come from the same family, bound together by their relationship as sisters and cousins. That blood connection is what defines their sound. Tight, cohesive, and inimitable. Before anyone knew the name Chapel Hart, they were called Hyperfly-Eye. They hadn't written much original music, just performed familiar country songs on street corners and in small venues in New Orleans. The city they chose to start their serious musical journey. They had no management company, no professional crew, just a speaker, 3 microphones, and the desire to prove that country wasn't just for one type of person. The group's name, Chapel Hart, was taken from a small church in Poplarville where their family had been active. It was a way for them to stay true to their roots while standing in the middle of a bustling city like New Orleans. In the early days, the 3 did everything from writing songs, setting up stages, picking costumes, and negotiating shows. The big change came when they decided to move permanently to Nashville. The city considered the mecca of country music was not easy on new artists, especially 3 women of color who didn't fit the industry's image. Danica is the literal and spiritual leader of the group. She has a rich, deep voice that has been compared to Etta James by experts. Danica often takes the lead in songs, especially when the group wants to convey emotion clearly and directly. She also connects the group and the audience with sincerity and no frills. Devin, Danica's younger sister, has a more youthful style. She is clearly influenced by Gretchen Wilson and often displays a bright youthful energy that resonates with a younger audience. Devin often takes on backing vocals and is instrumental in keeping the band's sound from becoming too traditional. Treya Swindle, cousin of the other 2, is the most edgy and vibrant member of the group. Her confident stage presence always sets the tone. Treya is also the main songwriter crafting the narratives for many of the group's original songs. Treya is open about feeling invisible in the country music industry, and uses that as motivation to create music that reflects her real experience. Before their TV debut, they had released 2 independent albums and a few singles, most notably Jesus and Alcohol, featuring ZZ Top's Billy Gibbons. While their music had garnered critical attention, gaining a real foothold in the country scene was another story. They weren't signed to a major label, didn't appear on radio playlists and mainstream venues, rarely hosted acts like them. But the years of performing on the small side were not in vain. Because they had time to be independent from the beginning, they learned to maintain their identity and not compromise with imposition. Each arrangement, each story in the song, bears both individual and collective traces. Chapel Hart did not come to Nashville to fit in. They came to redefine the concept of country in the eyes of new listeners. Their persistence finally paid off, and it came from an unlikely place, reality TV. In 2022, Chapel Hart was approached by producers of America's Got Talent. They initially declined. That was because they had signed on to tour with the popular band Indigo Girls, a rare opportunity for independent artists. But when a member of the Indigo Girls contracted COVID-19 and the tour was postponed, they decided to give it a shot. Little did they know it would be the moment that would put them on the national music map. On July 19, 2022, Chapel Hart took the AGT stage with their original song, You Can Have Him, Jolene. The song was a modern, edgy, and somewhat satirical response to Dolly Parton's classic hit, Jolene. Neither copying nor repeating, Chapel Hart turned an icon into their own. They made no apologies, no pretensions. They just came out on top. The performance ended with a standing ovation. The judges, Simon Cowell, Heidi Klum, Howie Mandel, Sofia Vergara, and host Terry Crews presented the Golden Buzzer, collectively a rarity in the show's history. The video of the performance went viral, racking up millions of views in just a few days. Dolly Parton also responded directly on Twitter, calling it a bold and interesting perspective in a clear show of support. The attention wasn't just from fans. Veteran artists like Loretta Lynn, Tanya Tucker, and Darius Rucker publicly praised Chapel Hart. Loretta even asked the group to write a song called Welcome to Fist City as a follow-up to her old hit, a rare recognition for a new artist. In the semi-finals, the group performed The Girls Are Back in Town, an energetic original that combined country and rock. The way they mixed in. The little rap verses showed that they weren't limited to the traditional format. The audience continued to vote strongly, helping them make it into the top 5 and into the finals. On the finale on September 13, 2022, Chapel Hart performed American Pride, a tribute to the military and the spirit of national unity. But it was a divisive performance. The group's vocals were affected by strong emotions, leading to some technical difficulties. Simon Cowell bluntly commented that the performance was affected by emotions, while Sofia Vergara and Heidi Klum still appreciated the message they brought. Even though not winning the title went to the dance group. Maya's Chapel Hart finished the season in 5th place. But that doesn't do justice to their impact. The group left a lasting impression not only because of their talent, but also because of their unique approach to country music. During the finale, they also collaborated with Darius Rucker and Drake Milligan to perform Bonnie Raitt's Something to Talk About. This collaboration not only garnered attention, but also opened the door for a long-term collaboration with Rucker after the show. 2 years later, in 2024, Chapel Hart returned for AGT Fantasy League, a special edition featuring some of the most talented acts in the show's history. Simon Cowell selected them for his team. In the preliminary round, they performed a new version of American Pride and received standing ovations from all 4 judges. Even though in the semi-finals, they performed a new song, This Girl Likes Fords, and were eliminated. Although they didn't advance, they were invited to perform You Can Have Him, Jolene again on the finale, with Drake Milligan, which put them back in the spotlight. Their appearance on AGT not only exposed Chapel Hart to millions of new viewers, but also changed the public's perception of who could make it in country music. What they achieved couldn't be measured in titles or prize money. They proved that a group without a major label backing, without traditional Nashville blood, could still rock the stage with their music. Success and invisible limits. After AGT, things changed quickly for Chapel Hart. They were no longer a busking group who had been turned away from small venues. Now they were a household name on national television, praised by industry veterans. But stepping out of the spotlight wasn't a red carpet hallway. Instead, it was rough terrain, with limits that television success couldn't erase overnight. In September 2022, Chapel Hart made their debut at the Grand Ole Opry, country music's most legendary stage. This is a milestone that any artist in the industry dreams of. During the night, they received 3 standing ovations, something that doesn't happen often. The song "You Can Have Him." Jolene rang out in the audience, not just another social media hit, but a clear statement that they had set foot in the most iconic place in country music. They followed that up with the release of Glory Days in May 2023. The album included songs like Welcome to Fist City, written at the request of Loretta Lynn before her death, and Fam Damily, a self-deprecating song about complicated family relationships. Glory Days didn't break sales records, but it received positive reviews. It showed a maturity in songwriting, a diversity of arrangements, and a willingness to experiment that few country artists have. Media success, but did not translate into industry acceptance. They were still a band without a major label. Major Nashville radio had to bring them into the mainstream. The kind of shows, sponsorships, and promotions that white country artists naturally had access to were still something Chapel Hart had to forge on their own. That's why the 2024 deal with Origins Records is a big step forward. It's the first time the band has signed an official deal with a label with a wide distribution network. While not a giant like Universal or Sony Origins, allows them to maintain creative control while ensuring a more professional quality product. They kicked off the partnership with the Heartfelt Family Christmas album, a family-friendly, intimate release, featuring artists like Vince Gill, the Isaacs, and T. Graham Brown. But not everything went smoothly. After AGT, the pressure to maintain their image and performance quality became a big problem. They were constantly on the move, and the tight schedule took a toll on the group's health. Treya once lost his voice for a week straight due to being overloaded. Performances were sometimes inconsistent due to lack of time to practice thoroughly. There are also invisible expectations from the public, because they once represented the innovation of country music. Every new song, every show is put under a magnifying glass. There are opinions from loyal audiences expecting them to stay original country, while producers encourage them to go in a more commercial, pop country direction. This forces them to balance between pleasing their old audience and conquering new markets. When you're a black group in country, you can't just do good, Danica said in a 2024 interview. You have to do great consistently and relentlessly. That quote captures the picture. They're facing a place of opportunity, but not equality. On the community side, they are still warmly welcomed back home. Poplarville hosts its own Chapel Hart Week each September, bringing together residents, students, and tourists for music, food, and inspirational workshops. The group also hosts mentoring programs at Pearl River Community College, where they once performed as unknowns. Chapel Hart has also continued to evolve as an artist. They have taken on the role of curator-producer and online content developer on YouTube and TikTok, building a more engaged and proactive fan community. Chapel Hart of today, 3 years after their golden buzzer moment on the AGT stage. Chapel Hart is no longer a name that needs introducing, but they're not resting on the short-term attention of television. Instead, the group is pushing hard, both in the studio and on stage, with a clear goal in mind to transform from phenomenon to real artist. In 2024, Chapel Hart released Heartfelt Family Christmas, a collaboration with Origins Records. This was no ordinary Christmas album, but rather a way for the band to retell family memories through music. From warm gatherings in Poplarville to memories of dinners at a community church, the album received positive reviews not only from their loyal audience, but also from critics. Collaborations with artists like Vince Gill and the Isaacs also proved that they were gaining critical recognition. While the market remains harsh on non-standard groups, Chapel Hart continues to release new products. Notable among them is the single Perfect for Me, released in early 2025. This is a song written by Treya himself, based on his personal experience of loving without idealization. The simple arrangement based on acoustic guitars and the group's tight vocals creates a more intimate feeling than previous TV songs. The song does not follow the market formula, but that is why it makes a difference in digital music playlists. Beyond the studio, the group has also stepped up their touring game. In 2025, they've been busy performing at major events across the country, including a high-profile appearance at California's Rose Parade. On the parade float, the three members performed "You Can Have Him" Jolene in front of millions of television viewers. It not only reaffirmed their signature hit, but also demonstrated their ability to adapt their performance style to the occasion. The next big milestone is Jazz Fest 2025 in New Orleans, where they started out with street performances. This return is more than a show. It's a confirmation of how far they've come since day one. Instead of being an opening act, they're now a main-time act, standing alongside other American music icons. Along with their large-scale shows, the group maintains a strong connection with their fans through social media. Chapel Hart's TikTok page is constantly sharing behind-the-scenes short practice clips, and sometimes even everyday moments like cooking, camping, or family stories. This helps them maintain their congregation community, a fan base named by the group itself, implying a group of people who share the same beliefs not just in music, but also in connection. On the technical front, Chapel Hart continues to receive attention from the music press. Billboard noted that they have escaped the shadow of AGT to forge their own path, while AllMusic said that their vocal arrangements remain unmistakably Chapel Hart. They have not only managed to maintain their popularity, but have also worked to evolve and experiment within a musical framework that is often riddled with hidden biases. Another notable change is a more active role in production. Danica and Devin are now learning more about sound and mixing, allowing them to have more control over their own output. In recent interviews, all three have stated that they want Chapel Hart to remain a musical project that they control rather than a brand that is controlled by the market. If 3 years ago they were asked, "What do you want to prove?" When you stand on the AGT stage today, the answer has changed. Now they no longer need to prove anything. They are doing it every day through their products, their work attitude, and the way they treat the music community. They won Bigger Than AGT in Poplarville, Mississippi, where it all began. Chapel Hart is not only a source of local pride, but also a role model for young people growing up in a rural setting where few would dream of reaching the national stage. Each year, the hometown hosts Chapel Hart Week, a series of performances, music workshops, and community events that not only celebrate the group's accomplishments, but also encourage the next generation to dream beyond the small-town confines. Their congregation fan base also extends beyond social media. It's a multi-generational, multiracial community drawn to Chapel Hart's message: genuine, self-reliant, and unconventional. Audiences don't come to them for the gimmick. They come to them for the truth in their music. Their connection with fans isn't based on stardom, but on intimacy and respect. Their legacy, though, lies beyond their songs and performances. It lies in the conversations they helped spark in the music industry, from race to gender stereotypes in country music. The idea of three women of color standing on the Grand Ole Opry, working with the likes of Darius Rucker and Vince Gill, would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. Chapel Hart doesn't claim to be the first to do it, but they were the ones who made it possible for the public to see it as a possibility. A significant shift in perception. Critics are starting to see them differently too. They're no longer called the AGT phenomenon in articles by Billboard, Rolling Stone, or the Tennessean, but are seen as part of the modern country wave artists who keep to tradition but aren't afraid to break the formula. Chapel Hart isn't trying to fit in with the mainstream. They're shaping the mainstream with their music. That's what makes them so essential in today's music landscape. They represent a type of artist who doesn't wait for permission, doesn't need a passport from any system to start their journey. They show that if there is no established path, it's still possible to pave your own path. Their upcoming appearance at Jazz Fest 2025. A major festival in New Orleans symbolizes the circle coming full circle. They were once obscure performers playing on the city's street corners. Now they are the official headliners of the program. Their return is not nostalgia, but affirmation. This is the stage they deserve, not because they were chosen, but because they earned it. Legacy doesn't always come from award wins or streaming records. For Chapel Hart, legacy is about carving out a new place in an industry still struggling to expand its boundaries. It's about inspiring a small-town kid to believe that his voice has a place in the genre. Chapel Hart doesn't follow the beaten path. They don't wait for opportunities to come. They pave their own path, staying true to their voice and their story. Their journey isn't perfect, but it's authentic, and that's what keeps viewers hooked. If you can relate to their unwavering spirit, leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and share this video with anyone who needs a little inspiration, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss more true stories like this one. Thank you for watching until the end.